Hey everyone, this is a quick video I'm putting together that's going to explain my roulette method. Apologies if the video is a bit shaky. I'm using my iPhone just for ease of convenience. I'll do my best to mitigate any shakiness. But moving ahead, getting on to the method, this is probably going to be covered over a few different videos just so I can explain everything where it's understood. If there are any questions, feel free to reach out to me. So getting started, what I've done here is broken up the spins into groupings of 3, which is going to give us 4 unique patterns. So getting to the patterns, here we have something called a win-win-loss. And keep in mind when I say win-win-loss for this pattern, I'm not talking about actual profit or loss. It's just the way I've decided to designate the groupings. So for each grouping of 3, of course you have a first spin that begins that grouping, and that's always going to be a win because that's the base or the header, however you want to describe it. In this case, it's beginning on 19 through 36, so it lands on 33. Then the next spin stays within 19 through 36, so there's no deviation. The final spin of this grouping does deviate to 1 to 18, so that's why you have it as win, win, loss. Now getting on to the other pattern, win, 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 again this starts on 19 through 36, and it stays within that side of the table for the next 2 spins. So that's why it's a win, win, win. Now if we get to win, loss, win, again, this is a spin that starts on 19 through 36, deviates to 1 to 18, then comes back to where the base of this method started, 19 through 36. That's why it's designated as a win, loss, win. And the same concept applies to the final pattern here, win, loss, loss. So with the win, loss, loss, again the base begins on 1 through 18 and then deviates for the next 2 spins over to 19 through 36 because it lands on 19 and 33. So that's why we have this as win, loss, loss. So those are your 4 patterns: win, win, loss, win, 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 loss, win, and win, loss, loss. And we also are going to be utilizing 9 betting lines. So you can see here for numbers, what I mean by numbers are your options for outside betting, which again are 1 through 18, 19 through 36. You can have up to 3 unique betting lines. If you try to create a 4th betting line, it's just going to simply repeat the first line, and really no need to do that. And the reason I'm doing 3 lines is that's really your best option to be successful with this method. I can get into that more on the next video, but this is really just an overview of the patterns themselves. So you can see here the same concept applies to red, black, as far as the patterns. So if it starts on black, that's the header. If it stays on black for the next spin, that's a win. If it deviates to red, it's a loss. So you have win, win, loss. Then moving over to odd, even. Again, the same concept applies here for the win, loss, win for this pattern. Starts on odd, deviates to even, and then returns back to odd. So this first video really just explaining the method, breaking the spins up into groupings of 3, so you end up with 4 distinct patterns. The next video is going to cover the actual idea behind the betting pattern and how to best implement this method.